What's up, guys? This is the Don here with Yu-Gi-Oh! Gaming Channel, back with another deck profile, bro. What you playing for us tonight? Coming in fourth place.
I played Utopia.
Utopia? What?
Yeah, fourth place is the best it's gotten so far.
Man, let's see what you got for us, bro.
Start off with the main deck. I actually run two each of... Honestly, I skipped their names. The Onomatopoeia, the coat, and two of the glove. This one summons some from any category. If one's already on the field, this can summon itself from hand, and this one can summon one from hand. What's that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. This can also special summon itself from grave, and this can special summon one from grave. So a combo with this is, if you leave this on field, you'll get all three of them on field. Use these two as material. And then if you detach one, this can bring that back to make another rank 4.
Nice.
So you'll have 2 rank 4s with only 3 monsters, as long as you leave this one on the field, and preferably this one in grave. They're going to banish themselves if they come back, but if you turn them into material, it's fine. And this one locks you into XYZs, but the entire extra deck is XYZ, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
And they are different types, so be careful of that. Those are warriors, so it's easy to roto. However, that is a rock. Be careful of the rifle and goes in.
Okay.
Same. There's a lot of lights in the deck, but these are also earths, so again, to be careful of those types. And then next I run 2 of Ascended Sage and 2 of Armed Sage. If you have no cards, specifically no cards, not no monsters, because I made that mistake, you can summon Ascended Sage for free. And then if you have 1 level 4, you can special summon Armed Sage. And then a Utopia monster that uses them as material, not a rank 4, it has to be Utopia, gets effects. This one adds a rank up from deck to hand. I only play 1 rank up. And this one adds a ZW monster. I play 4 of them. So even though some people say to max out on this one, since it's the starter of if you have no board, I prefer to keep them even. And I find this one can brick, because if you, again, have anything on board, then you have to normal summon it. So yeah, that was a mistake I made when learning it. XYZ change tactics. I would play it first because it's a draw engine, but then I would lock myself out of being able to summon that. So, so I'd be careful of. And then 2 Astral Karibos. It is a free summon, since you just reveal your Utopia, make him level 4, and then he special summons himself as that rank, or as that level for the rank you revealed. And then anything he has to be summoned as field as material. He can't just be the material if you rank up. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So if you played Master Duel, the Crooked Cook combo, he's part of that. But he's good for making rank 4s. But he can make himself any rank if you have higher ranks. It almost came up to...
And he also makes them not vulnerable, but strong, right?
He doesn't, unaffected. It doesn't make him unaffected, but being able to not be destroyed by battle or card effects does help. And it almost came up today, but it didn't. Of my opponent D-shifting me, I could have stolen that D-shifter, made Astral Karibo level 6, and then turned them both into a Beyond. That almost came up, but that's not how... Sorry, that's not how the route ended up going. And then for the ZWs, I never used to play these until the new support came out, because they were unsearchable bricks, but now they have plenty of ways to search them out. I got 1 Unicorn Spear, 1 Lightning Blade, 1 Tornado Bringer, and 1 Pegasus Wing.
Nice.
Yeah, they all have a different function. Unicorn Spear negates anything it battles. So if you have something that says, I take no battle damage, like a Time Lord, you can just smack into it with this, they'll take all that damage. It's great. Lightning Blade will protect whatever it's equipped to once. So if you try to Raigeki it, Lightning Blade pops itself instead. Similar with Tornado Bringer. Tornado Bringer says, if it be destroyed by battle, this is popped instead. And then Lightning Blade protects all your ZWs. So if you have 4 of them and they try to Feather Dust you, nothing happens. And Tornado Bringer says your monster cannot be targeted by your opponent. That doesn't come up very often, but it's still something that it does. And Twin Saber is the kind of the outlier. These can all equip themselves to a Utopia from hand. But specifically, this one can only be equipped to C39 Utopia Ray.
Okay.
But luckily there are cards in the extra deck that become Utopia Ray, but these can equip themselves to any Utopia. The reason Pegasus Twin Saber is the outlier, you can't equip it from hand. It has to be from field or from deck with another effect. But it has to special summon itself first and then equip. It can't be from hand, which I don't know why they did that. But it's also a monster negate, so it's a good one to have regardless. That's all the monsters. Going into the spells, one of your most important cards, Zexal Construction.
Nice.
Yeah, this does so much for the deck. You reveal a card in hand, add a card from that list, a ZW monster, a ZS monster, a Zexal spell or trap, a rank up or a rank down. There's only one rank down, but you never play it. And then put the revealed card back. So what it's great for doing is your one double or nothing. This is your Garnet. Wait. Yeah, that's your Garnet. I got my words mixed up. If you open this in your hand, you can Zexal Construction, put it back, and add something you actually need.
Yeah.
Because getting into it later, Utopia Double does not work if double or nothing is already in hand, because you have to search it. So that's your one of. Sometimes I'd play two, but I don't really do that anymore. And then cards you can search with double or nothing. Again, the ZWs and the ZSs. And then the one rank up, Zexal Force, target any XYZ monster, summon a Utopia or a ZW monster that's one rank higher. And then you can put a ZW or ZS from your deck on top of your deck. That doesn't come up very often. And then what does come up sometimes, if your opponent's life points are 2,000 higher than yours, you can banish this to draw one, which sometimes in a pinch can save you. And that's what you can search from this, but it's a huge help. You got your one Automata Para, discard a card, add cards from the categories. Great for unbricking. And again, the one combo you can do with these is if you only have this one in hand, you can discard it. That way it's already in the grave. Add these two, you summon both of them, and then this is live for you to bring back. And then two new cards, Overlay Network. This card came in so much handy today. You target a face-up monster you control, special summon a monster from your hand or grave with the same level, and its effects are negated, but that doesn't really matter when you're trying to Xyz summon. Or you can target an Xyz monster you control, attach one card from it to your hand. So how that would work for me is if I put them in the wrong order. If I had him as a material, and again, one of these engrave, I could put this back in my hand. That way next turn I could resummon him and get this back again. Or if I had the ZS as a material, again, I could recycle them so that when I summon, I can search again. But you can only use one effect once per turn, so you do have to be careful with that. And then for consistency, 2 desires. I wish it was at 3, but we only get 2 because I'm also a Grenmanji player. We need this at 3 back. And then breaking the budget a little, 3 thrust.
Nice.
Yeah, it searches the desires, it searches the Automata Para, it searches the Zexal Construction. It is great. And
basically just an engine starter to the extent.
And it says if your opponent activates a card during your turn at all, a monster card. So if they activate something during the standby phase, like a D shifter, or in the case of Kashtira, you can search whatever you want. That actually won me a game, because I'll get to it later. But yeah, they did a Shangri-La, and during my standby phase, so I added Monster Reborn.
Nice.
Brought back Utopia Beyond that was in the grave and attacked for game. That was great. So yeah, it's expensive, but this card does so much for me. And then to go along with it, 1 Talents, which I didn't really use this much today, but I still like to have it. To get out of things, Lightning Storm, kind of self-explanatory, and 1 Feather Duster. I went up against some Trap Tricks players.
That back row hate.
Lifesaver.
Yeah.
And then Searchers, a good chunk of your monsters are warriors, so of course Rhoda. And then Monster Reborn, of course. And this didn't really come up very often, but I like having it for interruption. Change of Heart.
Yeah.
It did come up once against a Trap Tricks player. He had Rafflesia. I took that, and then, of course, it's mixed up in the pile. I used my rank up to turn his rank 4 into one of my rank 5 Utopias. So I did side it out, but it is still nice having it. And then, of course, Call by the Grave. Wish it was out more than 1, but what can you do? And then I hate that they're mismatching rarities, but triple imperm, because negating your opponent's stuff is nice. And there's also an interaction with Imperm later. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. I love that I have these. Double Utopia. You need more than one, but you don't need three. Because what's nice with Utopia Double is you kind of... The OTK is that you need original Utopia, but Utopia Double can summon any Utopia. It doesn't just have to be the original number 39. So it's a nice play starter, but you're not entirely dependent on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the combo is, you know, you summon him, put him on top, doubles the attack, add double or nothing, hit for game like the anime. Again, if you watch the anime, you know how many times he's won with that card? Like 6. It's funny. But yeah, collector's rares, I'm happy to have those. And then yeah, Utopia Double. My favorite card in the extra. I wish it was secret rare. But add double or nothing, summon any Utopia on top, and it doubles its attack. So that in one of my favorite combos on Master Duel is Utopia Beyond. It'll make Beyond 6k and my opponent's board all 0. But the downside is you do have to search Utopia Double. So if this gets ashed, you're in trouble. And it cannot, whatever you summon cannot attack directly. So if your opponent just goes, oh, I have no board, you're kind of just stuck there. You kind of just sit with your monster. And then the combos, the interactions I was mentioning earlier, the ZSs that search when you summon, if you make that, your monsters will activate on summon. Don't activate Utopia Double yet. If they attempt to Ash or Imperm that effect, then you chain the Utopia Double, and that kind of, basically that's a good way to bait out the negate to get your summon. And then moving on further up the extra, you got Utopia Ray, which some of these Zexal weapons I don't run have to have Utopia Ray, so it's nice to at least have one of them. And I can ladder him up for Utopia for Zeus plays later, because it's an Xyz deck. Of course, I'm playing Zeus. And then Utopia Ray V. This one I don't summon often, but he has an effect that if he has a Utopia as material, you can target a monster your opponent controls, pop it, and then burn them for that damage. So I don't do it often. The combo I like to do is if they went off, give them a huge Nibiru token, pop it, burn them for all that. It's funny. And then Utopia Ray Victory. It can negate something it battles, and when it attacks, your opponent cannot activate spells or traps. It's really nice going up against the back row deck if you do make it to the battle phase, but it's nice having that option. My personal favorite, Utopia Beyond. On summon, 0 out your opponent's board, which doesn't seem like it comes up, but when you summon it with double, and you know, that's 6k damage for free.
Oh man.
Plus with the, you know, the ZW monsters, that's an easy way to OTK. It does have a second effect of you can target an XYZ monster you control, banish it, and you know, summon one back and gain 1250. I never use that. New card, Utopia Rising. On summon, target a number monster in your graveyard, bring it back, attach all of Rising's materials to it, which had a great interaction with Utopia Double in the grave. Double had gotten popped before I could use its effect to add double or nothing. So I summon Rising, get double back, and use double's effect to add the one double or nothing. That only happened once, but I like having that option, and it's nice basically having an archetype monster reborn. And then further ladders, Utopia Prime, it has an effect to pop monsters and burn. I never use that. I just use it as a ladder to climb into either Zeus or Utopia the Lightning, which helps. It doesn't win me games often, but it's nice to have. And then, yeah. And then a very common play I did today, Utopia Double into Utopia Ray. This one counts as the original C39, so you can use your ZWs. And it can equip them from deck, getting around Twin Sabers, not being able to summon from the hand. It can also equip from extra deck, so we have the one Leo Arms, which you can equip it from the extra deck, and it gives him 3k attack.
Is that OT?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
I did basically max rarity this core, with the exception of this not being Starlight, which, you know, we can't afford that yet.
You'll get it, bro.
I'm not getting an Astral Utopia Ret yet. That's, you know, like $500. I'll stick with my collector's rares. There are only 22.
You can't say it's max rarity then.
It's not max rarity yet.
Don't say it's max rarity because it's not.
It's in progress. Almost max rarity. And then, if he has a Zexal monster equipped to him, he can target an opponent's monster and negate its effects, which is a quickie, and that's nice. So if you have Twin Saber, that's 2 monster negates. And then, I don't run this one currently, because it's more of a defensive control option. I prefer my offensive builds, which is why I'm not running the Utopia Dragnar. And then we have one-off Utopic Sage. The downside of this one is it's Utopic, not Utopia. So if you summon it with the Ascended Sage and Armed Sage, they don't get their searches. But you can banish it to protect. Yeah, you can banish it from the grave to protect a Utopia if it get popped. And then you can detach materials to summon a ZS or Utopia. So it does help. Mandatory Zeus. It's an Xyz deck. If you even look at the art, it looks like an upgraded Utopia.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the one-off Abyss Dweller. That never came up.
Yeah.
And then side, Ash Blossoms, they should be in the main. Lancia, if I was going against Flu or Kashtira, that did come up, which was really helpful. Lance, again, against Trap Tricks and Kashtira. I had a game, I sided all 3 of these. My opening hand, 2 Lances. Turn 3, the card I drew, the 3rd Lance. I didn't win that game.
Oh, man.
And this never came up. But 3 Spellbound, I thought it'd be nice considering we have, Branded running around and Kashtira. But we
And Scare Claw.
That too. Yeah, anytime I cited this in, I never saw it, so that never came up. And then this only came up once. XYZ changed tactics. I used to main this, but not really anymore with all the search power I have. Anytime I summon a Utopia, pay 500 life points, draw a card.
Nice.
And then 2 extra ZWs that I never used. This one only equips to Ray V. I've never used it before, but it can pop your opponent's board and burn them for 1,000 for each.
Oh, that's
so that's
nice.
free damage. And then this one gives 1,000 attack. You can attack all your opponent's monsters once each.
Nice. Thank you, bro, for the deck profile. My dude Ivan over here coming in 4th. How you feel, bro? You've been running this deck for a while, right?
I'm glad to finally top with it. And then they just need to give us piercing. That is all we're missing.
Why don't you just run like
Scarecrow got
Fairy
it.
or Meteor Crush?
Because I can't search Fairy Meteor Crush.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Julian, who runs Spriggans, you can ask him. When I was running Photon, I needed a way to do piercing. I forgot Photon Trident exists. A searchable card that can do piercing.
That's true.
You can look through the messages. I messaged him screaming when I found out that card exists, and I didn't have it.
You got any shout outs for us, Ryan?
Not right now. I do like this story, though.
All right, so that's basically too much. Shout out to the rest of the community while we're here, people.
I've been talking for like however long straight. My throat hurts.
All right, bro. Thank you, Ivan, for the deck profile. We'll catch y'all in the next one, people. Peace.